Welcome to the Student Council elections for our next academic year. I'm Ankita, your current president.
And I am Chirag, your current treasurer.
So just before we start, today is our Childhood Aspirations Dress-Up Day, so I'm dressed as a doctor, and Chirag is Piccolo from Dragon Ball. So this year in the Student Council elections, we have a slight change. So those that will be elected following this elections, they will serve as your Student Council till January of next year, when there will be another set of elections. Yes. Okay. So
just please make sure, guys, that you're listening in, because these guys will be representing you next year as your student body.
So we have a range of applicants for our various positions. We have treasurer, we have secretary, events, vice president, president. Yes, that's your executive council for student council, and we have about 11 candidates running and only one unopposed, so there is competition. So please listen up carefully so you can choose the voices for your student body next year. So we're going to start with treasurer. We have two candidates, and our first candidate is Surush from year 11.
Hello everyone, I'm Surush, and as you know, I'm running for treasurer. In my old school, I was student council secretary. Although it wasn't exactly my role, I had quite a few treasurer responsibilities, so I have some experience going into this. See, I know by now, you're probably kind of tuned out. I've immediately started talking to you about myself. But what is student council? It is a representation of the student body. And how can I represent you if I only talk about myself? So, let's talk about you. You are the most diverse student body I think I have ever seen. And we need to celebrate that, and we need to recognize it. In my school, we had this thing called the UN Day Parade, where we all recognized our own diversity. So I'm not suggesting a giant parade in the Oval, but I'm suggesting something so that we can treasure our diversity. NIST has a great deal of events here. We all know that, where we all come together and we celebrate, we enjoy ourselves. But I think beyond Spirit Day, I think we really should have more, that we can all come together and create one big NIST community. So I know, maybe we don't have the best ideas for it, but you do, and you can. And I promise I will invest in any of them that you guys put forward, because that's student council. We're bridging the gaps between our communities. A wise man once said, invest in yourself, because there is no other greatest asset to you. Every time you stand up for each other, that you help each other, you are investing in yourself. And every time you speak out to help your own community, your own student council, you are using your greatest asset, which is your voice. Now it's up to you to pick who best amplifies your voice, but I only have one thing left to say. I will give you the power, I will give you the voice, but you have to do the same for me. Please invest in me, because you will be investing in yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Surush from year 11. Okay, up next we have Palm from year 12.
Okay, hi, my name is Palm, and I'm running for student council treasurer for this year. I'm in year 12, and I also happen to have a twin sister in the same year. And let me tell you right now that being raised with a sibling is probably not the best. To be raised with a sibling is like to have half of the things taken away from you. For most of it, my sister and I share the same NIST account. And trust me, that is the only reason why I'm still this skinny. Now, you might be thinking, why is he telling me something so irrelevant? Well, let me cut to the chase. When it comes to money, I like to be independent, I like to be responsible, and I like to keep track of my own expenses. My sister, on the other hand, has made it fairly clear that she is born to disrupt the inner peace of Palm's financial bank, and does so by buying 4 cups of tea on a daily basis. Now, before you start to judge me as someone who can't deal with his own problems, yes, I did tell my parents about her excessive tea drinking disorder, And yes, it did resolve the problem, but this just simply demonstrates how I'm not afraid to ask for help when needed. While I could have acted myself, I went to someone with enough power that could allow for change. And with that being said, I want you to view me as that someone who can bring change in this community. I've been here for more than 12 years, so trust me, I know where money should be allocated to maximize its value. If elected as your next student council treasurer, I will ensure transparency at all costs and strive for financial stability. Well, I guess that I'm the key that will unlock the treasure chest under the palm tree. A chest that will bring forth many glorious and joyful days in this community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Now, next, we're going to be moving into our communications officer candidates, starting with Aditi in...
Hey guys, I'm Aditi Bandari in year 9 and I'm running for communications officer. Now, I want to start with a quote, a cheesy one to say the least. That is, it is said that a leader is best when they are barely recognized by the people. Only their work is recognized. And they're known to be barely existed. And guess what? Most of you didn't know that I existed. It's true. Now, you might be wondering that how come a middle schooler is running for a position which usually goes to a senior high schooler? Allow me to tell you what I have done in the past 3 years to qualify for this position. I have been part of the middle school student council. First year as shadow president, second year as events coordinator, and currently the co-president. And during this time, I've had many opportunities to work alongside the high school student council. I've got an insight into how they work, pick their brains, gain experience and knowledge, and here I am today. In spite of all the odds stacked against me to be selected, I'm still giving it up. Now you have to appreciate my never say die attitude, my confidence, and the fact that I have skipped so many lunches, you can just tell by my petite frame, to organize events like Spirit Day or create a more active environment where students can interact on a regular basis, such as the middle school socials and many school-wide events. But that's in the past. You don't care about what I have done. You care about what I can do. Having worked in different capacities and performed various roles, I believe that as a communications officer, I will be able to use my wide spectrum of knowledge and experience to make you guys feel as though you yourself are part of the council, that every idea brought is communicated to the council, is put through, and is thoroughly thought about. And we are now entering the 3rd decade of the 21st century. It is time to break the tradition. We must and should elect someone younger, someone who has the time, the passion, the energy, and the dedication to make your high school experience better. So vote for Aditi Bandari because I am willing to make NIST great again.
Thank you, Aditi. All right, next up we have Ranveer from year 12.
Morning, lads. I am Randy for Communications Officer. Get it? You're probably thinking, Randy, running for Communications Officer? What? You're somewhat right. I'm more of a lunchtime joker than a lunchtime meeting attendant. My carefree nature doesn't exactly fit the mold of a high school representative. But what if it does? Even better than your orderly student. My lighthearted nature should invite you to talk to me at any time, no matter what the circumstance is. It should abolish the awkward barrier between students that don't typically converse and allow you to express anything that you want. Honestly, just come by and make fun of me. I actually like it. It's a weird flex, but I can't judge you because I'd probably leave a worse impression on you. Now just think of me as the Stuco. I hope to open up an accessible and approachable route to the hub of NIST student discussions. Hopefully you've seen one episode of The Falcon Beak. I want to connect our community, kind of like my monobrow right now. I want year 12 Malika to know Mr. Cooper, as scary as he may be, to know year 9 Ethan. The fact that I'd love to talk to any of you right now should license you to talk to me at any time. Except you, Jenny Babe. Please don't ever talk to me. I have a dream, as a wise man once similarly said, I have a dream that one day right here at NIST, little year 10 boys and little year 10 girls will be able to join hands with little year 13 boys and little year 13 girls as sisters and brothers. Also, part of the job is to convey information to you lads up here. I'll twist information and present it in witty ways, hopefully engaging the student body. If you want proof, don't look too far. Check out my Instagram at RandyPult6. I try my best to be funny, but it doesn't always work. Just look at AJ on Falcon News. Well, at least I make Miss Z laugh, and Miss Z, you're a real homie, if you're right there. Also, after all, I live for exchanges of banter. The communications officer role won't change that. It will extend my banter meter, if I may, or scope to all of you, and in turn, extend yours to the student council. I don't want communication just to be easy and clear. I want it to be fun. So please vote for me, guys. And also, please follow me on Instagram.
All right. Thank you, guys. That's it from our communications officer candidates. Next, we have our candidates for student council secretary for next year. First up, we'd like to invite Hannah Bickle onto stage.
Collectively, we're changing and adapting at paces faster than ever before. New ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. What I find interesting is that, if you think about it, everything happening before us started with a single idea. Now, you might wonder what this has to do with the student council election here at NIST on a normal day, as normal as any weekday may get. Well, today is a bit different. I'm not here to revolutionize your view on certain things, but hey, I can at least try. Everything happening at this point in time once started with a single idea. 2 years ago, that single idea for me was running for the role of secretary, which I have had the honor of serving up until this point. In the process of doing so, I have become efficient at dealing with student council matters, from structuring the council's agenda to hearing what you have to say. I have witnessed and been a part of single ideas becoming massive events, ranging from our annual Spirit Day to getting to the core of your student council suggestions. It has been a wonderful experience, which I would love to pursue one more time as my final year of being here at NIST. My aims for the next year are to ensure that the right systems are being put into place that will allow the student council to run with consistency and allow students to feel involved in the process in a process of sustaining a matter of efficiency and continuing to make the student council a diverse representation of your thoughts and ideas. If a single idea was once powerful enough to make NIST what it is today, it is now up to you to vote, and together we can lead the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Hannah from year 12. Next up, we have Sabrina from year 9.
Hi guys, my name is Sabrina. I'm from year 9 and I'm running for secretary. What is a secretary? Before you start to picture a smartly dressed lady sitting in front of her desk with a phone on one hand and her laptop in front of her, based on the job description of our student council, it is someone who is organized, trustworthy, and responsible, not limited to any stereotypes, and engaging in personal qualities in which I consist. I've been in the middle school student council since I was in year 8, being the spirit member and then the year 9 head representative, which I am now. I won't say I am the best at taking on these roles, but I am always at my best and take on the roles with openness, honesty, and certainly commitment. As mentioned, I'm currently in year 9, so I still have 4 more years in which I can use to contribute to our community. We've all seen the effective system the student council implies, but I believe the importance of having new members in the council for more creative ideas and fresh minds to scream through. In NIST, we all have houses, and we all have spirit, but that's what we need to make more of. To me, spirit is what makes NIST different from other schools, but spirit is what we need to make more of. I want to do what I can do to continue on using my organization skills to help our council to run efficiently for more fun events to occur, and make every effort in helping others in NIST, being part of the student council to keep the spirits and motivations up around us, helping to organize events and create activities and such. Now, why secretary? Some of you may start to wonder, why did I choose to run for secretary when there are other positions, such as president and vice president even, positions that might be able to make more of a difference? I made this decision because I believe that everyone can be a secretary, every one of you guys. Everyone can take notes during meetings and send out calendar invites, but not everyone can be a different, a one-of-a-kind secretary, and that's what I want to be. I aim to take on the role with innovative thoughts, responsibility, passion, and openness, helping the student council to work with an organized structure, as well as creating new ideas and work towards uniting high school as one. With my experience, personal qualities, and passion, I believe I can be a great secretary for our student council. I promise doing my best at keeping our student council to run efficiently and in an organized way for more events to occur quickly, and is ready to inject new ideas into the council. I'm Sabrina from your 9, and make a note to vote for me for secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. All right, so next we'll be moving on to our events coordinator candidates, beginning with Abhishek in year 11.
Good morning, guys. For those who aren't familiar, my name is Abhishek. I'm a year 11 student, and I'll be running for events coordinator. So to the table of this position, I can bring approachability, experience, and growth. Approachability. I think that's one of the best qualities a member in the council can have. To be open, approachable, and friendly to you guys, so you guys can voice your ideas out and be comfortable while voicing them to the council. Because let's be realistic. Any promise made unsuccessfully implementing all changes is an empty promise. But what I can and will promise is to be open and approach every idea given by you guys. Experience. Growing up, I've learned there are two things in life that are priceless: free food and experience. Grateful to you guys, I've had the experience to be in the council for 2 years now, including already being an events coordinator. The experience to work with a number of fabulous people. The experience to organize events from small to big scales. It has all helped me, trained me, and prepared me to be your events coordinator. Growth. They say change is inevitable, but growth is optional. I assure you, I will create growth in the council. For the past 2 years, I've realized that council events have sidelined what you guys suggest and change for us. To be events coordinator, I will create a more systematic, organized, efficient way to plan these events so your voices are prioritized and change is made. Please do vote for me as your events coordinator, because the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Okay, next up we have Aditi from year 12.
Experiences matter. Most school experiences come from events. Think of an event as a cake. Not the weird upside-down pineapple cakes, but the really fancy bakery ones. And organizing those events are like baking a cake. First thing to do is select what kind of cake. So, what cake? Chocolate. Okay, we got chocolate. The type of cake would correlate to what event it is. For example, chocolate cake could be Spirit Day. Once we know what's going on, we need to know what to do. So we need a recipe. A recipe for the event would tell us what we need to organize it. For example, foosballs, or the weird Zorb bubble things, or even volunteers, spaces, and programs. Like most cakes, most events require a similar base to work on. So a well-created resource base would ease a lot of issues we face today. Once we have that down, we can add whatever we want. For example, chocolate chip cookies. That could be a pool table, and the cake would still bake successfully. It would also mean that events we organize are more streamlined and effective, and the consistency of the quality is maintained. It is important to have a team that supports each other. So my job as events coordinator would be to build that team and make sure everyone working on this cake is comfortable with what they're doing. While some measure ingredients, the others stir them, and some of them would put on the icing. Despite all the precision and hard work that goes into making events, the most important aspect is what you, or the tasters, feel. We design events to provide you with experience. It's not about the theme or the plans or what we do with it. It's about what you feel about it. And it should be as delicious as the piece of cake you're picturing right now. I want to be able to share my passion to serve awesome cakes and maybe some events with something special each time. And that special depends on what you order. Thank you.
Thank you to our events coordinators. Next, we have our candidates for our vice presidents coming up, beginning with Janice Lee in year 9.
Hi, my name is Janice Lee, and I am running for vice president. I would like to ask a question before I start. What is creativity? Let me define it for you. Creativity is the instinctive ability to build upon ideas and beliefs that are already there. Creativity is a unique ability that only people have in this world. People have taken small ideas and built upon it to create something even better. And compared to the billions of other animals that have been here on this earth for so much longer than us, we have made the greatest impact on this earth. Okay, how does this relate to NIST? Why am I talking about this? Because I believe that NIST is the most creative school that I have ever been to. I am a new student this year, and I have moved around several times, like many of you here in the audience. And because of this, I can see NIST's powers. Unlike many of the schools that I have been to, NIST works hard to bring out the best in students and build up their strengths. And using this, we make the students change the school to better fit themselves. I find this method so innovative and so creative that there is no choice for the students here to succeed. This is a school to be truly proud of. And because of this, I want to help this school live up to its potential. I aim to build the school up to its potential of using each individual's strengths. I want to make you guys feel proud of yourselves and your accomplishments. I want you guys to easily be able to communicate your ideas and receive information. This school should be a place with wonderful memories and a place that sparks energy for improvement. Finally, I wish to take my experiences and knowledges from other schools to make NIST better. I will build upon current knowledge to make better knowledge. Use the old knowledge to create new, because that is what makes NIST so unique. It creates something out of something else. It is built upon knowledge, and it is created to make a change. I believe NIST has the potential to become the most creative and innovative school, and I can raise this school up through your individuality. Please vote for me as Vice President.
Thank you, Janice Lee. Okay, so we have a slide request for the next speech, so we'll just need to move the podium to the front. Okay, so this is our Vice President, next candidate, AJ.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is AJ, and some of you may know me as your current vice president or the cringy guy your advisor forces you to watch in the morning. Anyways, I would like to start off my speech with a short story about a young boy named Bob. Bob was strong, Bob was fast, Bob was cool, Bob was handsome. Anyways, there was this other guy named George, and George was not strong, but he was kind, intelligent, hardworking, and successful. Anyways, the moral of the story is that I am both George and Bob. And here are some more reasons as to why I am your guy. 1, look at this brain. It's been in this for the past 13 years, give me a problem and I can solve it. It might take some time though, but that's besides the point. 2, wouldn't you want to see this pretty face on Falcon News for just another year? And 3, you probably get the point. I could go on for longer, but I don't want to be too narcissistic. All jokes aside, I'd seriously love to be able to be your vice president during my very last year at a school that I've been so privileged to grow up in. I truly like to think that I'm hardworking, motivated, approachable, and have the experience to truly make a change. And to be more specific about experience, I am talking about a CAS Golden Trophy, GCD with distinction, involvement in NDB, Rescue Glass, Mix-Up, DWBI, NISTech, Hobbs PKK, student council, and a fight with my neighbor who's trying to sue me because my dog barks tonight. If there is anything I learned from this, it's being able to stand up, be a dedicated leader, take initiative, make it my mission to go through all of your suggestions and to treat you as the incredible people that you are. Look, I can't promise you that I'm going to change the world. I can't promise you that I'm going to be less cringy on Falcon News. In fact, I can't even promise you that I can do a pull-up. But what I can promise you is that I'll be the brick to your house, the peanut butter to your jelly, the dog to your cat, the water to your cup, the pen to your pencil, the cow to your milk, the bubble to your bath, the fork to your spoon, the hokey to your pokey. Okay, I think you get the point. Vote for me as your next vice president, and I promise I won't let you down.
So, for president this year, we only have one candidate. He's running unopposed, and this is Arish from year 12.
Hey everyone, for quite a while now, NISTies only had Indian presidents, and well, I guess I'm here to keep that tradition going. I'm here running unopposed, so I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce myself. I've been part of the NIST community for the past 13 years and continue to appreciate the opportunity to be surrounded by such amazing individuals. If you know me, you probably know that I'm your typical try-hard. Trust me, I take further math and defense it. Whether it's a service group or a school event, name it and I was probably somehow involved. From the NIST Development Bank to Fairness and the Student Council, I've thrived to serve as a dedicated and responsible leader. I have the experience and the understanding to connect the right groups to facilitate for change. I may only have 6 months, but I mean to make every one of them count. Be proactive and host a council that is eager to act upon initiatives and make changes for the betterment of our community. I'm truly willing and able to lift your ideas. I mean, look at these vegetarian gains. I'm willing to address those bigger problems, whether it's an issue in the school curriculum or long-term change you hope to see, and reveal to you the full potential of the student council. All I'm trying to say is that I believe in your passions and ideas, and I want to give your opinions a chance. Make sure you click Rush for president, and maybe, just maybe, I make history with 100% of the votes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harish. So that was all your candidates for all the executive members of the Student Council running for next year.